Hey guys, so I've been saying young or old, male or female, foreign or domestic, rich or poor, that these people are all the same. They're the reason why I've been saying that. And that's because it doesn't matter what their social or economic status is, you're always going to see the same behavior in them because this is their nature. So you have a Columbus police sergeant facing 4 felony accounts of child pornography. And understand that this isn't the first police or the last police sergeant that you would see facing any charges like this. And the thing of it is there's a common theme where you keep seeing this sexual assault and child molestation occurring. And that's because it shows you how prevalent this is in a white community. And the reason it's prevalent in the white community because this is white people's preferential. This is their preference in terms of a sexual preference. This is why they're trying to get it legalized. It's one of the things that they're trying to get legalized. They're also trying to get bestiality legalized. This is just who they are. And it seems like no matter how much we tell Black people this is who they are, they refuse to acknowledge that this is who they are. So it makes me wonder, are these people sick or are Black people sick? That's the question that I have to ask. Who's sicker? These people or Black people? Now, there's a couple videos, of course, on here where there's some kind of press conferences. If they're too long, I'm not going to go over them, but I do want to go over this so you can get the gist of it, and then I'll read, the article, and we'll go over that as well. But for now, let's get into this video. It's apparently 3 minutes.
Only on 10 TV now. Our crew was there as a Columbus police sergeant turned himself in at the Franklin County Jail. Tonight, Sergeant Dean Worthington is behind bars facing child pornography charges. Columbus police call the case devastating and disturbing. 10 TV broke the story when a Franklin County grand jury indicted the officer on 4 felony counts related to child pornography. 10 TV's Maureen Kosad is live outside the Franklin County Courthouse with the latest on those accusations. Maureen?
Well, Dean Worthington served as the public information officer for the Columbus Division of Police. Essentially, he was the face of the department, which is why so many fellow officers say they are stunned. A person who put himself in the media spotlight could have been hiding such a dark secret.
Anything to say, Dean?
When our 10 TV photographer asked Sergeant Worthington if he had anything to say, he quietly replied, "No, sir," before surrendering at the Franklin County Jail. Worthington's facing a 4-count felony indictment involving child pornography.
Devastated would be a word that I would use, disturbing, because of the information that just came out from the indictment.
Prosecutors say in May, investigators got a tip from the social media site Tumblr after someone posted a questionable image. An investigation by the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force led investigators to Sergeant Worthington, who was fingerprinted and photographed by sheriff's deputies this afternoon. Prosecutors say a search of Worthington's cell phone revealed he downloaded videos and images showing young boys engaged in sex acts with adults.
There was no indication that there were children from Central Ohio on any of the depictions that we found.
Police say Sergeant Worthington was relieved of duty last week, forced to turn in his badge and gun. Police say the 1,900 officers who serve the city are doing good deeds every day, but say there's no arguing this case could tarnish the badge.
The public entrusts us to protect them from this kind of crime. And right now, this disturbing conduct simply erodes that trust.
Sergeant Worthington will face a judge to answer to the charges on Friday. Because this case involves images that could have been downloaded from the internet, many of you have asked, why isn't Sergeant Worthington facing federal charges? Ahead at 6, we took that question to the prosecutors. Reporting live outside the Franklin County Courthouse, Maureen Kosad, 10 TV News.
Sergeant Worthington had been with the Columbus Division of Police for more than 20 years. He was promoted to sergeant in 2006. The department says he spent most of his career in investigative assignments. He also spent 6 years in the Internal Affairs Bureau before becoming the Public Information Officer last September. His current role had him dealing with all media requests.
Now, do you see how corrupt and depraved that is? Because they'll sit up here and tell you that these officers are sacrificing their life to protect the community, when in actuality, no, they're not. They're abusing their power. They're acting cowardly, like they can't even merely stand to be in the sight of a black person, mind you, who's not armed, where they will take a murderous white person to Burger King. So, and then most of them are moonlighting as officers when in reality they spend their time molesting children. It says the Franklin County grand jury indicted a former public information officer with the Columbus Division of Police Wednesday on 4 felony counts related to child pornography. And that's probably a vast reduction in comparison to what he was actually doing. Sergeant Dean Worthington is accused of downloading child pornography to his personal cell phone. Franklin County Prosecutor Ron O'Brien says the social networking website Tumblr provided a tip to law enforcement after Worthington allegedly uploaded an image of pornography. I think we all know that his pornography and child abuse wasn't restricted to just looking at things online. It's never just restricted to looking at things online. And again, these are things we should be focusing on when you have white people who want to boycott Nike because they believe that Nike is aligning themselves with a black person. All of these stats they're putting out about how Nike employed these people, those are smoke screens. They don't really care about that. What they care about is that Nike appeared to be aligning itself with black people. They just want to create a smoke screen to say, oh, we're not against Nike because it supported Colin Kaepernick. We're against him because of the unfair employment practices. Really? Let's see what this press conference says.
A former spokesman for the Columbus Division of Police, the 4-count indictment.
And nobody's going to listen to this whole thing. And look at how dead he looks. Like, really, the fact these are the people who walk around saying they're superior. I must point that out.
It includes 2 second-degree felonies and 2 fourth-degree felonies. The first count's the illegal use of minor and nudity-oriented material. The other counts are pandering, sexually oriented material involving a minor. And that total of 4 counts, the second-degree felonies have a maximum penalty of up to 8 years in prison. The fourth-degree felony counts, all these involve different images that were taken from his mobile telephone. I understand it's his personal telephone, not one belonging to the Division of Police. The investigation commenced in May when the local ICAC, or the Internet Crime Against Children's Task Force, received information from Tumblr, which is a social media site, and the places like Tumblr will scan images that get posted there, and if they see something that they believe might violate law, they'll notify local law enforcement. That's what happened in May. What the local ICAC task force did was follow normal procedure, and that was trying to determine the device in which had posted that item. And once having done that, they secured a search warrant for the premises in the Hilliard.
I want you guys to notice how he explained how social media sites work with law enforcement, where they routinely send whatever they deem to be suspicious or threatening to anyone. They'll send it to law enforcement. So how many black people are on there setting themselves up and helping themselves be incarcerated by posting the stuff that they do on social media? It just doesn't make any sense. But it says between January and July of 2018, it is alleged that Worthington uploaded an image to Tumblr and downloaded multiple videos and images depicting young children engaging in sexual activity with adults. Columbus police confirmed Worthington was relieved of his assignment last week. Police spokesperson Dennis Alex Bouzouanis said Worthington turned in his badge and gun at that time. Worthington has been with the department since 1996 and became a spokesman in 2017. Worthington surrendered Wednesday at a county jail. Defense attorney Dan Sobel says Worthington will plead not guilty. His arraignment is Friday. And again, notice how no mention of his history. I'm pretty sure this isn't the only thing that he's done. I'm pretty sure that he has a heavy jacket of discrimination against Black people. And then, so in addition to that, he's engaging in pedophilia. And these are things that Black people don't bring up, even when the issue of police brutality and police protecting the community is mentioned. Because you sure do have a lot of degeneracy and criminal activity among police who are supposed to be stopping crime. But yet nobody brings this up. Again, this isn't the first time. It won't be the last time. I'm sure there's multiple pedophiles all through, up and through the police department. The Catholic Church isn't the only house of pedophiles and sexual degenerates. It's really not. Because you got a lot of Black Christian pastors being sexually degenerate. We just saw that at Aretha Franklin's concert. But back to these police, because this is not even about Black pastors. That's for another discussion. But the reality of it is the face that you have, the fact that you have multiple cases of this, and none of this is brought up whenever you have Fox News. That's why everything is fake. Because everything is fake. Because if it wasn't, you would have dialogue that was more realistic. You wouldn't be hearing Black on Black crime or anything like that, because you would have people being bold enough to go up here, not censor themselves, and tell white people about their pathology. But you don't. And there's a reason why most of these news correspondents are Black men. They understand the pathology. Because the reality of it is when Black men were being demonized, if they turned it around and put the attention on white people's pathology, do you really think they would continue to bring up and demonize Black men? Probably not. Because they would already know that where there's criticism of the Black male psyche, there's more criticism of white male psyches and behaviors and pathologies. But instead, we live in a society where by and large Black men cower, and I wish that they wouldn't. And it's easy for all of them to cower when most of them simply want to help maintain white supremacy because they get benefits from it. That's just a reality, and people don't understand that. People don't understand that the men in our society, by and large, are not looking for liberation. This is why they can oversee these things. Do you know how much value Black men have to the operation of this country? So they can't stand to lose Black men, their athleticism, their intelligence, because understand that, again, Black men are not just in these sports fields excelling. They're in a number of different fields excelling. So the problem is that Black men don't understand their value, and they don't think that they have value unless a white person is overseeing what they're doing. But if they understood their worth and their value, none of these things that are happening to them wouldn't even be possible. It just would not be possible, because the reality of it is they wouldn't think that they could go out here and pathologize Black men and get away with it. And I'm not saying Black men are the reason this police sergeant is over here with 4 counts of child pornography, when we already know, we can guess that he's molested and raped a few kids. Probably more than a few. And that's not on Black men, that's on white psychology. But what is on Black men is their failure to highlight these situations. Because if they get to deflect and even say Black on Black crime, which is a very small percentage of what's actually going on in the Black community, then why is it that Black men are seemingly afraid to bring out white psychology and white pathology? Like, they're not countering it with anything. This is what frustrates me. Even the so-called Black men who are not cooning, because you can name a number of different Black men who are out there who are not coons, and they're still not bringing up these things. They may counter it. They may mention white on white crime, but they don't get into the full pathology of white behavior. They don't do that. And that needs to happen. And then in instances where you had Black women doing it, because it doesn't happen and because it's not being headed by the men, Black women are facing penalties because they do it. Because there's no unity and there's no backing. But this sexual degeneracy goes on all day, every day in the white community. It is not nothing new. The reason why we don't hear about it is because the media don't report it, and then Black people by and large don't either. They want to sit up here and coon. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you for your support. I'll see you in the next video.